welcome back to another video. Again, we're looking at concepts that we may need as we move into solving systems of equations. For this video, we are now going to look at creating our own equivalent equations. In a previous one, we looked at how do we check. Now we're actually going to create our own. Again, there is a method for solving systems of equations that's going to require you to be able to create your own equivalent equations. Just a reminder, same thing as our previous video. Equivalent means equal in amount, value, function, or meaning. Again, we're looking at that meaning part here as we're creating equivalent equations. Two equations that even though they have different numbers, they mean the same thing. That's what we're looking at here. So, walked you through this a little bit during a previous video, but let's take a closer look at it. Well, I'm going to start with an equation x equals 2. First thing I'm going to do is say, what if I multiply both sides by 2? What do I end up with? I end up with 2x equals 4. This is in fact the multiplication property of equality. As long as you multiply the same thing to both sides of an equation, you still have equivalent equations. Two equations that mean the same thing. Let's look at a different example. What if we don't just have a variable on the left side? What if we have an expression like x minus 3? Well, we're still going to multiply both sides by 2. This time though, we got to make sure we group x minus 3, that expression, so that we make sure we're multiplying the whole expression by the 2. And now, if you remember, whenever we have a number multiplied to an expression, we use the distributive property to make sure that value gets multiplied to both terms or all terms inside the parentheses. So we end up getting 2x minus 6 equals 4. So these are now equivalent equations. X minus 3 equals 2 and 2x minus 6 equals 4 are equivalent equations. So you can see it doesn't take much to be able to create equivalent forms. All you need to do is use that multiplication property of equality and make sure you multiply everything on each side by that same number, and you will end up with equivalent equations. Thanks again to SlidesGo for helping me with my slides.